Hello to everyone watching. This is Dee again with part 2 of my devlog for creating a game that is heavily inspired by the Chao-Gardens. The game looks really different now than it did before, so without further ado, let's talk about how I got from this to this. Problem number 1 is we want to do more than just feed the Chao. At this point in time, when you walk up to a Chao and interact with it, all you can do is feed them, but it's not gonna cut it. So I wanted to add a Chao menu. That way when you walk up to a Chao, you can not only feed the Chao, but you can also greet them and view their stats. The next problem is that when you're trying to interact with the Chao, they can just walk away from you at any time, and that can get really annoying, especially when they walk really fast. It becomes practically impossible to catch them when their speed is so much higher than yours. So to fix this, I implemented proximity pause. At least that's the name of the function that I threw into there. So with this proximity pause function, when you get close enough to a Chao, they stop moving. They stop in their tracks. So you can interact with them without having to worry about anything. You can give them food, you can look at their stats, you can greet them, whatever you want to do, whatever, right? And with this exact same logic, I also implemented proximity close for the toy box. Previously, with the toy box, you could open the toy box and walk away from it and it would just stay open forever. So with proximity close, now when you walk away from the toy box, it closes. The next problem that needed to be addressed was that the stats menu doesn't update over time. In fact, the stats are empty. There are no stats. So at this point in time, I wanted to implement stats. The hunger was going to be the first thing that we tackle, and just for the sake of clarity, because I don't know if I mentioned this in the last video, the stats are going to be hunger, stimulation, and rest, because all of those things contribute to your mood in real life. That is why I chose those 3 stats, and a mathematical calculation will take those 3 stats and calculate your overall mood, which is seen on the left of the stats menu. So for the time being, we're just going to create hunger, and there is no real math to calculate your mood, so the mood is going to be equivalent to your hunger. This really wasn't that difficult to implement. As soon as you feed the Chao, it just increments your hunger bar, and it starts at 0 for the sake of testing right now, but obviously when you actually are playing the game for realsies, it'll be at 100 and decrement over time. That way when you feed them, it's replenishing your hunger. The next issue that needed to be addressed is that you can't really tell when a Chao is waiting for food. I ran into the issue a couple of times where I would go to give Chao food very quickly and realize, oh shoot, I'm actually out of food and I have to walk away to go grab some food, and then I come back and now the Chao are really close to each other and I don't know which one I was trying to feed. So I implemented gimme. The name of the function is gimme. The only thing that it's really doing is it just creates an icon under the Chao of the 2 open palm emoji. Am I saying that right? The emoji with the 2 open palms, so it looks like a little beggar. It's asking for food, you know what I mean? So that way it's very obvious which Chao you are trying to give food to, even when you walk away. The Chao, it still has its little hands out and it's just looking for food. It's still waiting for you to give it some food. The next issue that I was coming across is that these little dudes just kind of seem robotic. They're not very personable. They don't have personalities, and I don't know, I'm just not all that interested in them. So one thing that really helped a lot with that was just adding speech bubbles so they can talk, which was such a great thing to add. I don't know why I didn't add this sooner, but now they can talk, and that's really exciting. Now, as I said in the previous video, probably 2 or 3 times at least, the environment is still quite empty. So now I think it's time that we really get into creating some assets. To avoid making assets that are the wrong size, what I decided to do was I took an exact copy of the world and I exported it to my drawing tablet. That way I could just draw some doodles of random plants that I could potentially add to the world, and I exported it back to the game so that I could kind of get a feel for what these assets could be like, and what, like, how big they would be, where they would be placed, and things of that nature. And walking around in that exported version of the assets was really interesting and cool. It definitely changed the vibe to walk around a bunch of doodles. But it was pretty cool. Doing this test export made me realize that the first asset that I will probably end up making is going to be the banana tree. So lo and behold, let there be bananas. I created a banana tree. This leads to our next problem. I have a banana tree, but I don't have any bananas under it. At this point in time, I decided, let me go ahead and create some spawn points. So I created the banana spawn point. This one was a bit tricky because it involved signals. Whenever you actually pick up a banana, it has to spawn in your actual inventory on the character, and that was not easy to figure out, but I did get some help from some friends from a Discord server with a bunch of devs in it, and they helped me out. Shout out to them. This banana spawn point ended up being the blueprint for all of the other fruit spawn points. So I'm really glad that I got that figured out. The next issue that I wanted to address was the UI. Like, checking all of the stats for the Chao was taking a lot more effort than I would have preferred. So I decided to do two different things to kind of fix this so that people have a little bit of variety and options when it comes to looking at the Chao's stats. First and foremost, I wanted there to be a tiny mood bar that would just be underneath the Chao at any given time. That way you don't have to look at the whole stats menu, you can just see the Chao's overall mood right there underneath it. And then I decided the second thing I would add would be these quick toggle buttons, which I added on the global UI on the bottom of the screen. There's 3 buttons that have 3 different functions. So the first button would just toggle that tiny mood bar on and off. Just because I wasn't sure if people would want that on all the time. It could just be something you very briefly check. So I wanted a quick toggle for that, and then I added a second button for looking at only the Chao that are a little bit needy. I imagine this would be helpful when you have more than like 4 or 5 Chao on the screen. It'll only show the stats menu of the Chao that have a stat that is yellow or red. If all of the stats are green, then it doesn't do anything at all, which is pretty great. The third button would be there just to toggle all of the Chao stats at the same exact time. That way you can get a quick idea of what you need to be preparing to do in the coming few minutes. So if you look at all of the Chao stats and you're like, oh shoot, I need to start gathering all the food because quite a few of them are about to be hungry soon. I need to prepare, and I only know that because I can see everybody's stats. That's kind of the goal anyway. So those are the quick toggle buttons on the bottom. Alright, the next problem that I had to address was that the Chao don't do anything when they're hungry. And this, if you've been around toddlers, is very unrealistic. If a kid is hungry, they typically will come up to you and scream about it until you fix it. So the Chao do something similar. When a Chao is hungry, they will walk up to you and they will pretty much stare at you until you feed them, until they are satisfied. And then they'll walk away and do their own thing. I just felt it would be a lot more realistic if you would just be minding your business and suddenly a Chao runs up to you just like looking at you with a growling tummy. Because what hungry child does not go up to their parent and ask for food when they're hungry? And also, nobody wants to go all around the map hunting down all of the Chao that have low hunger stats. It's a little bit more convenient when they come to you, isn't it? I don't know, maybe that's just me. And then the last thing that I added is stimulation. With stimulation comes toys. What I decided to do was just put a soccer ball out into the world, and that ball can be interacted with by one Chao at a time. So it does have its limitations. My goal for the next few months is just to make sure that there's a pretty good balance between making sure your Chao are well fed and well stimulated. It's not going to be easy, and I expect this to take a lot more time. So I don't know when the next update is going to be out. Also, before I go, I wanted to get everybody's opinion about the grass. I don't know how I feel about the grass yet. It was just part of the test for the export. There's a potential that I might keep it, but honestly, I don't know if it quite fits. There's something about the grass that it's just not really sitting well with me. So please, if you have any suggestions, let me know. But in the meantime, I think that's all I have for you. If you guys have any comments, any questions, any suggestions, please let me know in the comment section below. And until next time, I will see you later.